Laaksonen and Bautista again, they're facing off in the first round of Roland Garros. Sorry, the second round. Now, Laaksonen has actually had some good wins, especially in this tournament. He came through qualifying. He beat Cerundolo in the final qualifying round after being down match points. So impressive from him. He also then beat Henri in 4 sets. So a good run from Laaksonen there. And he's on a 4-match winning streak in this tournament, including qualifying. So we'll hope to maybe offer some resistance to Bautista again, and he'll be hopeful knowing that clay isn't RBA's best surface. So maybe he has a chance at offering some resistance to RBA. Now, his opponent had a really easy first round against Villa Martinez. He beat him in straight at 6-4, 6-4, 6-2. So that was an impressive win for Bautista again. He may not go so deep, but he'll be able to have at least a couple wins. And he'll be happy because Laaksonen is one of the lower tier qualifiers. So he'll be happy that maybe he'll be able to get a decent win over him. Now, Laaksonen and Bautista again, they've never met before, so they have a 0. Actually, no, they've met once, and Bautista again leads it 1-0. But that was in 2013 on the clay court. Bautista again won that one in straight sets, but that was like 8 years ago. So it's really gonna be of little relevance to now, because both players have evolved since then. So I'm gonna pick Bautista again. I think it's gonna be 3 tight sets, straight sets, but I think it's going to be 3 tight sets because Laaksonen is a good player and can challenge him. So I'm going to pick RB. I'm going to pick Bautista again, but it's going to be 3 tight sets, but Bautista again will win this in straight sets. So Davidovich, Fokina, and Van de Zandschulp, they're facing off in the first round. So the second round of Roland Garros. Now, Fokina this year has had some good runs this year. He did well in the Open Tour de France. He made the quarterfinal there. He also managed to do had some good form on the clay courts. Made his first Masters quarterfinal, so some good form there. He also made the semis of Estoril, and it was set up against Medvedev in Madrid. So some good encouraging form for him, and we're gonna see whether he can maybe transfer that over to the slam level. He had a good win against Kukushkin. He beat him in straight sets, so he'll be confident because his opponent had to play a thriller. So he'll be confident that maybe he can take advantage of the tiredness of his opponent to get a win here. His opponent Van de Zandschulp, he had to come through qualifying. In his last 2 qualifying matches, he was impressive. He didn't drop a set, so he was impressive in the last 2. And against Hubert Hurkacz, he was down 2 sets, but he produced a comeback for the ages to beat him in 5 sets, 6-7, 6-7, 6-2, 6-2, 6-4. So he played extremely well in that match there. He played, especially in those last 3 sets, he played pretty well. And he'll be wondering if he can defeat Davidovich Fokina, but that'll be tough because Davidovich Fokina is really good on the clay, and it'll be tough to defeat, especially because he'll be a little tired. Now, they've never met before, so they have a 0-0 head-to-head. So, my prediction, I think that Davidovich Fokina is going to win this. I think he's going to win this in 4 sets because, number 1, Van de Zandschulp will be tired, and number 2, Davidovich Fokina has more experience on the clay. I'm going to pick Van de Zandschulp to win a set just because I think he can test Davidovich Fokina, but I think the Spaniard will win this one in 4 sets. So Khachanov and Nishikori, they're facing off in the second round of Roland Garros. Now Khachanov hasn't really had a great year this year. He's going to be looking for form because he hasn't been in his best form, and he's on the verge of dropping out of the higher rankings. So he's going to hope that he can perhaps have a good run. He has shown some signs of life this year though, because he had some decent runs mixed in. He made the semis of the Great Ocean Road Open. He also made the quarterfinals of Rotterdam and the semis of Lyon. So he's shown some signs of life, and some signs that he's getting back to his former best back in 2018. We're going to see if he can, and he did have a good convincing win over Vesely. He beat him in straight sets, so he's going to be confident that maybe he has a chance to do well. Now, his opponent also is trying to get back to his best. He struggled with injuries in Nishikori. He was at the top like back in 2019, 2018, but he struggled with injuries now, so he's going to be hoping to get back to his best. His first round, he wasn't at his best in his first round match. He needed 5 sets, but he got the job done. And we're going to see if he can do the same against Khachanov. Now, these two players have met before a bunch of times. They met 5 times, and Nishikori leaded 3-2. They met recently in Madrid on the clay, and Nishikori won that one in 3 sets. So I think that I'm going to pick Nishikori to win. I think just simply because he just beat Khachanov a couple weeks ago, and I think that he can do it again because I think that he's playing that he's the king of 5 setters. He likes to go the distance, so I'm gonna pick Nishikori to win this. I think it's gonna be 5 sets again, but I think Nishikori will win this because I think he's playing. He'll want to be able to keep his ranking up, and Khachanov hasn't really had the best season. So I think it's a good opportunity for him to get the win. So Nishikori in 5 sets is my prediction. So Ruud and Mazarkak, they're facing off in the second round of Rolling Girls. Now Ruud actually was surprising because he was stretched to a 4th set by Benoit Paire, but he managed to get through it in 4 sets. Although Paire loves playing in front of the crowd, he loves playing in front of his French support, especially in his home slam. So he did give Ruud some resistance, but he managed to beat Paire in 4 sets. Now he gets to play Mazarkak in the second round, which should be slightly easy for him. And Ruud has been in really good form. 2 Masters semifinals in Madrid and Monte Carlo, a title in Geneva. He's playing really well so far. His opponent actually hasn't really played much on the main tour. He's played more on the Challenger circuit recently, but he has had some good runs, some decent runs. He did make the qualifiers and lose to Shapovalov. He did do well during qualifying, and he also managed to make the round 16 in Lyon. So he has had some decent runs so far, and we'll see if he can do anything against Ruud here. Now, Mazarkak and Ruud, they've met a lot before, a lot on the Challenger circuit. They've never met officially, so they have a 0-0 head-to-head. But on the Challenger circuit, they met twice, and Ruud won both of those encounters in straight sets. One of them on hard court, one of them on clay court. I think that Ruud's going to win this one in straight sets because I think that Ruud is just a better player. I think that Mazarkak, while he did well to get past the Frenchman player Arthur Cizot in the first round, I think that Ruud will offer more resistance. And Ruud is just a better clay court player and more experience. So I'm going to pick Ruud to win this in straight sets.